For centuries, the narrative of ancient Egypt has been dominated by the towering figures of pharaohs, the Ramesses, the Thutmoses, the Akhenatens. Their names echo through the halls of history. Their monuments still stand as testaments to their power. But behind these iconic rulers often stood women of remarkable strength, intelligence and influence, whose stories have been largely overshadowed by the patriarchal narratives of the past. These were the queens of Egypt, not merely consorts or mothers, but powerful figures who wielded significant authority, shaped political landscapes, and sometimes even ruled in their own right. Think of the royal court of ancient Egypt as a complex stage, where the pharaoh held the central role, but the queens often operated behind the scenes, pulling strings, offering counsel, and ensuring the stability and continuity of the dynasty. Their influence could be subtle, exerted through their relationships with the king and their children, or it could be overt, with queens holding important administrative titles, participating in religious rituals, and even commanding armies. Our understanding of these powerful women is often fragmented, pieced together from inscriptions on temple walls, scattered archaeological finds, and the occasional mention in historical texts primarily focused on the male rulers. Yet, the glimpses we do get reveal lives of incredible complexity and agency. These were women who navigated the intricate web of royal politics, often in a world designed to center male authority, and yet managed to leave their own indelible marks on Egyptian history. This journey will take us beyond the well-known figures like Cleopatra VII, whose dramatic story has been immortalized in literature and film. We will delve into the lives of lesser-known yet equally fascinating queens who played crucial roles throughout Egypt's long history. We will explore the power wielded by royal mothers who acted as regents for their young sons, the influence of chief wives who held significant religious and political titles, and the stories of those exceptional women who even ascended the throne as pharaohs themselves, defying convention and reshaping the very notion of Egyptian kingship. These are the forgotten queens of Egypt, their voices often muted by the passage of time and the biases of historical record-keeping. But their impact was real, their power tangible, and their stories deserve to be heard. Join us as we unearth their hidden influence and bring their fascinating lives back into the light. In the dynastic system of ancient Egypt, the role of the royal mother held immense significance. She was not only the woman who bore the heir to the throne, but often played a crucial role in ensuring the stability and continuity of the ruling line, especially during periods of transition. When a pharaoh died and his successor was young or still a minor, the royal mother could step into a powerful position as regent, effectively ruling the country until her son came of age. One prominent example is Queen Hatshepsut, who lived around 1560 to 1530 BCE during the late Second Intermediate Period and the early New Kingdom. Her husband Seqenenre II was killed in battle against the Hyksos invaders. Their son Kamosi continued the fight but also died. It was Amenhotep who stepped into the power vacuum, rallying the Egyptian forces and playing a vital role in the eventual expulsion of the Hyksos and the reunification of Egypt under her son Ahmose V, the founder of the 18th dynasty. Inscriptions and archaeological evidence depict her as a powerful ruler, honored with military distinctions, and praised for her leadership during a critical period in Egyptian history. Later in the New Kingdom, we see the influence of mothers like Ta, the great royal wife of Amenhotep III, and the mother of Akhenaten. While she did not serve as regent, Ta was clearly a powerful advisor to her husband, and continued to wield influence during the early reign of her son. She is depicted alongside Amenhotep III in numerous monuments, and even had her own temple built, signifying her unique status and power. Her diplomatic correspondence with foreign rulers also suggests her involvement in international affairs. The Amarna period, with the reign of Akhenaten, presents a fascinating case with his mother, also named Ta, continuing to be a figure of importance. Even Akhenaten's chief wife, Nefertiti, while not a royal mother to his immediate successor, Smenkhare, whose parentage is debated, rose to unprecedented levels of power, depicted in ways traditionally reserved for pharaohs, suggesting she held significant authority. The role of the royal mother extended beyond periods of regency. Even when the pharaoh was an adult, his mother often held a prestigious position in the court, wielding social and political influence. She could act as an important advisor, a link to previous generations, and a symbol of the dynasty's continuity. Her support could be crucial for a pharaoh's legitimacy, and his ability to navigate the complex politics of the royal court and the powerful priesthood. The monuments and inscriptions dedicated to these royal mothers often highlight their piety, their wisdom, and their dedication to the well-being of Egypt and the ruling family. They were not merely passive figures, but active participants in the political and religious life of the nation, their influence often shaping the reigns of their sons and the course of Egyptian history. The power of the royal mother was a subtle yet significant force behind the throne, ensuring the stability and longevity of the pharaonic rule. Beyond the crucial role of the royal mother, the great royal wife, the principal wife of the pharaoh, often held a position of considerable power and influence in ancient Egypt. She was not simply the king's spouse, but a key figure in religious rituals, a symbol of royal authority, and sometimes a significant political player in her own right. The status of the great royal wife was often elevated through religious associations. She was frequently linked to powerful goddesses, such as Hathor, and played a prominent role in religious ceremonies alongside the pharaoh. Her participation in these rituals reinforced the divine legitimacy of the king's rule, and underscored her importance to the stability of the cosmos, as perceived by the Egyptians. Depictions of the great royal wife often show her on an equal scale with the pharaoh, emphasizing her elevated status. One of the most well-known examples is Nefertiti, the great royal wife of Akhenaten, during the Amarna period. Her prominence during her husband's reign was unprecedented. She is depicted in numerous artistic representations, often alongside Akhenaten, in ways that suggest a co-regency, or at least a position of immense authority. In some depictions, she even wears the pharaoh's crown, and performs traditionally royal duties. While the exact nature of her power is still debated, her visibility, and the unique religious and political changes of the Amarna period, clearly indicate her significant influence. Earlier in Egyptian history, queens like Ahmes Nefertari, the great royal wife of Ahmes I, the founder of the 18th dynasty, also held immense prestige and power. She was deified after her death, and became a patron goddess of Thebes, highlighting the enduring impact and respect she commanded. Her involvement in administrative and religious affairs is well documented, showcasing the active role a great royal wife could play. During the reign of Thutmose III, we encounter Hatshepsut, who initially served as the great royal wife. After Thutmose II's death, and while the designated heir, Thutmose III, was still young, Hatshepsut took the unprecedented step of declaring herself pharaoh. While her story is unique, her initial position as great royal wife provided her with the legitimacy and platform to eventually claim the throne, demonstrating the inherent power associated with that role. Even when not ascending to the throne themselves, great royal wives often wielded considerable indirect influence. They could be trusted advisors to their husbands, influencing policy decisions and appointments. Their support could be crucial for maintaining stability within the royal court and navigating the complex relationships with the powerful priesthood and nobility. The lineage they produced was vital for the continuation of the dynasty, further enhancing their importance. The monuments and inscriptions dedicated to great royal wives often emphasize their beauty, their intelligence, and their devotion to the king and the gods. They were depicted as powerful protectors of the realm and integral partners in the pharaoh's rule. The position of great royal wife was far more than a ceremonial title. It was a role that carried significant weight and offered opportunities for women of ability to exercise considerable influence behind the throne of Egypt. The power and influence within the Egyptian royal court extended beyond the figures of the royal mother and the great royal wife. Royal sisters and daughters also held significant positions, often playing crucial roles in maintaining dynastic stability, participating in religious life, and sometimes even wielding considerable political power. Marriage within the royal family, particularly between siblings, was a common practice in ancient Egypt, especially during the early dynasties. This practice was partly intended to keep the royal bloodline pure and consolidate power within the immediate family. Royal sisters who married the pharaoh often held the title of great royal wife, as seen with figures like Akhenaten, who married her nephew Pepi-Atan during the 6th dynasty, and became incredibly influential, even acting as regent for her son Nefertiti. These royal sister wives wielded the power we discussed in the previous section, but their familial connection to the pharaoh often amplified their standing. Even those royal sisters and daughters, who did not marry the pharaoh, could hold important religious and administrative roles. During the Old Kingdom, royal women often served as priestesses in important cults, such as that of Hathor. Their participation in these religious rituals not only bestowed prestige upon them, but also linked the royal family directly to powerful deities, bolstering their legitimacy. In the New Kingdom, we see examples of royal daughters holding significant influence. Hatshepsut, before becoming pharaoh, served as a key figure in the religious administration during the reigns of her father Thutmose. Her position and experience likely provided her with the platform and support to later claim the throne. The Amarna period again offers a compelling example with the daughters of Akhenaten and Nefertiti. They are frequently depicted in royal art, often playing active roles in religious ceremonies alongside their parents. While their direct political power might be less clear, their prominent representation suggests their importance in the royal ideology and their potential future roles within the dynasty. Furthermore, royal daughters were often used in strategic marriages to cement political alliances both within Egypt and with foreign powers. These marriages could be crucial for maintaining peace and stability, and the royal women involved often became important conduits of information and influence between different courts. The wealth and landholdings bestowed upon royal women also provided them with a degree of independent power. They could manage estates, employ large numbers of people, and control significant resources, giving them leverage within the socio-economic structure of Egypt. While their power might not always have been as overt as that of a ruling pharaoh, royal sisters and daughters were integral to the functioning of the Egyptian state. They played vital roles in religion, administration and diplomacy, and their positions within the royal family often afforded them considerable influence behind the scenes, contributing to the stability and longevity of the dynastic system. Their stories, though sometimes less prominent, offer valuable insights into the complex web of power within the Egyptian court. Perhaps the most compelling evidence of the potential power of Egyptian queens lies in the instances where they defied convention and took on the ultimate role, that of pharaoh. While the Egyptian kingship was overwhelmingly patriarchal, history records several remarkable women who successfully claimed the throne and ruled Egypt in their own right, demonstrating their exceptional ambition, political acumen, and the occasional flexibility within the Egyptian dynastic system. The most famous example is undoubtedly Hatshepsut, who reigned during the 18th dynasty, circa 1479 to 1458 BCE, initially serving as regent for her stepson Thutmose III. Hatshepsut gradually consolidated power and eventually declared herself pharaoh, adopting the full regalia and titles of a king. Her reign was largely peaceful and prosperous, marked by significant building projects, including her magnificent mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, and successful trade expeditions, such as the famed voyage to the land of Punt. Hatshepsut's ability to maintain her position for over 2 decades in a traditionally male role speaks volumes about her political skill and the support she garnered from key officials. Her reign provides a powerful example of a woman successfully navigating and even subverting the patriarchal norms of her time. Centuries earlier, during the late 12th dynasty, circa 1806 to 1802 BCE, another woman, Sobek-Neferu, is believed to have ruled as pharaoh. Her reign was brief, but her very ascension to the throne, after the death of Amenemhat IV, with no clear male heir, indicates a period of dynastic instability and the willingness of the Egyptian court to accept a female ruler in exceptional circumstances. While the details of her reign are less well documented than Hatshepsut's, her existence as a female pharaoh is confirmed by historical records and some surviving artifacts. There is also the intriguing case of Tuzret, who ruled at the end of the 19th dynasty, circa 1191 to 1189 BCE. Initially the wife of Seti II, she rose to prominence as regent for his young successor Siptah. Following Siptah's death, Tuzret herself claimed the throne and ruled for a short period. Her reign occurred during a time of political turmoil, and she faced challenges to her authority, but her ability to seize and hold the kingship, even briefly, underscores the potential for female power in the late Bronze Age Egypt. These female pharaohs adopted male royal iconography, including the pharaonic beard and traditional kingly attire, to legitimize their rule and project an image of authority. Their inscriptions and monuments often emphasize their divine right to rule and their connection to the powerful deities of Egypt. The reigns of these women as pharaohs demonstrate that while the norm was male rule, the Egyptian system was not entirely rigid. In times of dynastic crisis, or when a woman possessed exceptional ability and garnered sufficient support, it was possible for them to transcend traditional gender roles and take on the highest office in the land. Their stories serve as powerful reminders of the individual agency and influence that some remarkable queens of Egypt were able to achieve, leaving an enduring legacy that challenges the traditional male-centered narrative of Egyptian history. The stories of the forgotten queens of Egypt, from the influential royal mothers and the powerful great royal wives, to the exceptional women who ascended the throne as pharaohs, offer a crucial counterpoint to the traditional male-dominated narrative of ancient Egyptian history. Their lives and actions reveal a more complex and nuanced understanding of power dynamics within the royal court and Egyptian society as a whole. By highlighting these women, we gain a richer appreciation for the multifaceted roles that women could play in ancient Egypt. They were not merely relegated to the domestic sphere, but actively participated in political, religious, and even military affairs. Their influence, whether direct or indirect, often shaped the reigns of pharaohs and the course of Egyptian history. Understanding their contributions allows us to move beyond a monolithic view of ancient Egypt and recognize the agency and impact of its female figures. The examples of queens who acted as regents, like a Hatshepsut, demonstrate the vital role they played in maintaining stability during times of transition and crisis. Their leadership and ability to rally support were crucial for the survival and prosperity of the nation. The power wielded by great royal wives, such as and potentially Nefertiti, illustrates the significant influence they could have on their husbands, and even on the religious and political ideologies of their time. The remarkable reigns of female pharaohs, like Hatshepsut, Sobekneferu, and Tuzret, challenge our assumptions about the limitations placed upon women in the ancient world. Their ability to claim and hold the highest office in the land, despite societal norms, underscores their exceptional character and the occasional fluidity within the Egyptian power structure. Their success provides valuable insights into the political landscape of their respective periods and the factors that allowed women to rise to such prominence. The very fact that many of these queens have been forgotten or relegated to the footnotes of history highlights the importance of actively seeking out and amplifying their stories. Recovering their narratives not only corrects historical imbalances, but also provides inspiration and a more complete understanding of the past. Their experiences can offer valuable lessons about leadership, resilience, and the complexities of power across different cultures and time periods. In conclusion, the forgotten queens of Egypt were far more than just wives and mothers. They were influential figures who wielded power behind the throne, shaped political landscapes, and in some extraordinary cases, ruled Egypt as pharaohs in their own right. By bringing their stories to light, we gain a more accurate and vibrant picture of ancient Egyptian history, recognizing the significant contributions and enduring legacy of these remarkable women who left their own indelible marks on one of the world's most fascinating civilizations. Their power and influence, though sometimes hidden, were undeniable and continue to resonate today, reminding us of the vital roles women have played throughout history,